What's up guys, Matt back again with another unboxing video, and today we're going to be reviewing the Super Saiyan 4 Goku from Son Goku FES Volume 15. Before we dive into the video, please remember to subscribe and hit the bell, like the video, comment your thoughts down below for us to discuss, follow me on my socials, and consider becoming a YouTube member to enter into our monthly giveaways and Discord server so our community can help you on your Dragon Ball figure collecting journey. This figure's based on Super Saiyan 4 Goku from Dragon Ball GT. The figure seems based on Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta performing a Big Bang Kamehameha. Even his leg positioning is the same. Maybe it was repurposed to be a Goku figure. Son Goku FES are Banpresto crane figures of Goku's different forms across the franchise and are all sculpted by Hiroyuki Nakazawa. This figure sells for an average price of $22 US on the market. If you're interested in buying the figure for even cheaper, then use my discount code PEACHES24 at BashmanCollectibles.com to get 10% off your first order and 5% off every future order afterwards. This figure was released on September 16th, 2021. The figure stands at just about 9 inches, weighs 1 pound, 2.1 ounces in box, weighs 12.8 ounces on his own, and the figure comes with his upper body, lower body, tail, support, and base. All right, back-to-back Son Goku FES reviews. I took the opportunity to get a couple of these off of eBay when I had some credit from an old credit card that I used to have on eBay. So I decided, why not? I'll pick a couple of these up. But if you do want to get them for even cheaper than I got, just go through Bashman, man. Like, I probably spent too much on these figures, if I'm being honest. But I'm just happy to review them. Like I said in the last video, if you haven't watched that, go check it out from yesterday. But I love FES. It's a legendary crane figure series. A lot of the figures still go for cheap today, so check them out, man. They're really cool if you're into crane figures. But let's talk about this Goku. So character choice, I think, is a no-brainer. Super Saiyan 4 is one of the most popular, if not the most popular, Super Saiyan form. It's not the most popular, but it is very beloved across everybody. There are people who are like, I hate Dragon Ball GT. Everything about it sucks except Super Saiyan 4. Super Saiyan 4 is cool. I think Brian, my buddy Brian, mentioned it in a recent video that he was doing with Goddess Rare, that it's the direction that I think a lot of people were on board with for Super Saiyan. Like, I like Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue, and Ultra Instinct is probably my second favorite form that Goku's ever achieved, but yeah, Super Saiyan 4 is just cool, man. It definitely does seem like the right direction a Saiyan should go in. So I really wish this concept would come back. But Super Saiyan 4 Goku is a figure that we see here and there in the market, but we don't really see that much anymore. I think we hardly ever see Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the market anymore, which is kind of sad. It almost seems like GT is somewhat being forgotten about, but even though it's not canon or any of that stuff, I think GT is still really cool in some ways. I know it messed up a lot, but I love Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and you know, this figure obviously gets a 5 out of 5 for character choice. No brainer, especially if you're doing a Goku focused set of figures. His likeness it's okay. I have some issues with it. It's mostly around the mouth and the way that they did his eyes. I can't tell if his eyes are, it's not that they're too big. It just seems like this line that goes across his face is just like, from certain angles, looks really goofy. That's kind of where he's at. He's kind of like a little goofy. Like, it's not really terrible, but it's a little goofy looking, and I think most of it comes with how they sculpted his mouth. It might look a little too big, I think. And again, I mentioned earlier in the video that this is definitely a repurposed Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And I don't know why they didn't just continue. Maybe because they decided to do that other Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta within FES, but they already had another Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So I don't really understand the logic there. But, you know, it's not bad. I just think it could have been better. It's kind of mid, and I hate using the word mid, but it's mid. So I'm going to give his likeness a 3 out of 5. Could have been a little bit better. I remember Hiroyuki Nakazawa just being freaking amazing in all of these figures. So I hope that this one and the Goku I reviewed yesterday are the lowest point of these FES reviews. But it is what it is. 3 out of 5 for likeness. Sculpt quality, very similar to what I said yesterday with the Super Saiyan GT Goku. I love things like his fur. His fur is highly detailed. The crinks in his pants look very nice. The definition of his muscles. His hair sculpt is pretty awesome. I don't know if his hair is a little too long. That could just be me messing with myself because, you know, I can tell he's supposed to be Gogeta, but he's Goku. But otherwise, you know, I think he looks great. There's not really a big issue with the sculpt besides the fact that he's on this huge base and the thing is going up his butt. However, I will say this. When I was, you know, getting footage for all these figures and I had him stood up on my shelf for a while, he started to slip off of his support. And I do remember one of my members in my Discord server talking about how one of his Gogeta figures had an issue where he was slipping off his support. And I think it was an FES figure. Save the unknown. If you're in the comments, let me know. But yeah, I think this one suffers from the same issue where the support is either like not tight enough or it can't support his weight because he is kind of heavy for a Crane figure. So that's kind of an issue. Hopefully it's not something that everyone goes through, but yeah, was kind of a concern for me while I was gathering footage, but not enough for me to, you know, raise this down quite a bit. So I'll give his sculpt quality a 4 out of 5. Paint and shading, like I said, man, this was back in the day when Crane figures used to have shading, and this one is no exception. He's got very notable shading on his pants. You can see like the dark yellows and oranges go to the side towards the back that really contrast with the bright yellows of the front, just to show that lighting effect that whatever move he's using has. I think you can even see shading on the palms of his hands, which is pretty awesome. It's very subtle. And of course, you can see some subtle shading across his fur and a little bit on his skin. So I think they did a fantastic job. I love the bright reddish pink that they use for his fur. Goku's color contrast in this form is like, it's perfect. Like, it really, every time I talk about Super Saiyan 4, man, I get conflicted because Super Saiyan 3 is my favorite. And I like Ultra Instinct a lot, but man, it's so cool. It looks so cool. I don't know, man. Anyways, yeah, paint and shading, it's a 5 out of 5. Love the look of this figure. It just looks freaking great. And then size and scale, like I mentioned in my other Goku review, FES, I think they generally scale well together. Even this one next to the Super Saiyan GT Kid Goku and the other Goku from the Saiyan saga that I have, they seem to scale pretty well together. So if you're just collecting FES, they're going to scale perfectly amongst each other for the most part. But obviously he is somewhat of a smaller figure compared to other ones. You know, he's not going to scale with a Kuji or anything like that. Crane figures are usually just going to accent something that are more to scale, like Masterlies. So I do like him a lot. He's quite big for a Crane figure as well, but I'm going to give him a 4 out of 5 for size and scale, just because he's not at the what I call the standard of size and scale, which is kind of like what a Masterlies figure, that 8 to 10 inch mark on average, and the scaling that goes along with it. So I think it's still pretty solid, big for a Crane figure regardless. So yeah, 4 out of 5 for size and scale. But those are my opinions, guys. Please let me know down in the comments section which FES figure you want me to review next, or what group of figures, if they have like a special color version or an alternate color. I would love to know. If you can tell me which volume FES it is, that would help me a lot, so I can just go and find it and see which one you're talking about exactly. But yeah, I really do like this thing. It's definitely better than the Goku that I reviewed yesterday, but not by too much. So at the end of the day, I think I'm going to walk away and I'm going to give this Goku a 4 out of 5. Thank you all again for watching today's video. But before we move on to the upcoming giveaways this month, I'd like to mention my new merch that's launched. We've got shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more. If you want to support me a bit further and rock some of the merch on the channel, please check out the shop tab on my channel. But until the next video, guys, I will see you all later.